In this first problem you sent me, Jaysa, we have a set of data that is normally distributed with a mean equal to 314 grams and a standard deviation equal to 15 grams. And we're asked that if we pick one fruit at random, what is the probability that that fruit will weigh between 291.5 grams and 305 grams. So what we always have to do first in a normal distribution is to determine our z-score. In our case, though, we have two z-scores to compute. We have one z-score for 291.5 grams, and we have another z-score for 305 grams. So I'll do the 291.5 first. My x will be 291.5. My mu is my mean given, which was 314. And we have to divide that by our standard deviation given, which is 15. And we're going to do the same thing to find our second z-score. Our second z-score, our x is 305. But our mean is still the same, and our standard deviation is also still the same. So when I compute these z-scores, I get the first z-score equal to negative 1.5, and the second z-score equal to negative 0.6 or negative 0.6. So on this particular problem, you are asked to not use the normal tables. And so that would mean you're going to have to use some other form of technology. I'm guessing you're using like a TI-84 graphing calculator, or you're using Microsoft Excel. I'm going to assume you're using the graphing calculator, so we're going to go with that. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to go to, anytime you want to know the area below a particular z-score, you use the normal CDF command. Now normal CDF can be found under second vars option 2. And so we're going to need to use this normal CDF command twice. Once for the negative 0.6 z-score and once for the negative 1.5 z-score. So if I do this with the negative 0.6, I want to know, well actually, nope, let me rephrase that. If I want to know the area between, I can just use the lower of the z-scores, and the lower is the negative 1.5. and the upper of the z-scores, and the upper would be the bigger of the two, which is the negative 0.6. So normal CDF, again, second vars option 2. Lower boundary would be negative 1.5. Upper boundary would be negative 0.6 or negative 0.6. Now there's a possibility, depending upon your operating system, there's a possibility that it will require you enter the mean and standard deviation. So if you're entering z-scores, your mean is 0 and your standard deviation is 1. And when we enter that command and hit enter, rounded to 4 decimal places, we get an area of 0.2074, or just 0.2074.